This college football picks week 6 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play the Underdog Pick'em in college NFL and win up to 20x in one game. Plus, every Sunday they're giving away $100,000. Use promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus up to $500. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Snag the tickets without the stress. Use promo code SGPN on your first purchase to save $20. Download the Game Time app and use promo code SGPN.
Hey folks, this is Bud Foster. You're listening to SGPN. Let's let it ride. Go Hokies, man.
Long, Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Oh, Jesus, Colby, we're live on the air. That's disrespectful. You disrespected the art of podcasting, disrespected the art of live streaming. You disrespected a lot of things.
Ryan,
And both of you
made a 55
both of you
yarder.
both of you fucking giant pussies.
what do you mean?
Both of you tiptoeing around the office like a bunch of fucking Cinderella motherfuckers.
No. I know as a good podcaster, it's best to save the live reactions for on the air. This is raw, uncut Kramer. This is that pure, unstepped on, 100% Kramer. I mean, the Giants have turned Kramer to drinking. Noted non-heavy drinker. Kramer is picking up the whiskey, and I know it's easy to yell at Colby and me, and
I'm not yelling.
Couple
at
of
Colby.
sharps that were on the Seahawks.
yes.
I'm calling you guys out for being pussies.
Well, what do you want me to say? I want to save your I don't want to poke the bear when we're not on air. I want to save the bear for when we're live at
I'm a pro.
youtube.com/sportsgambling.
What the fuck? You think I'm going to waste it?
All right.
You think I'm going to waste any of this?
Well, Ryan, that was a heartless, gutless performance from the New York
Quit
Giants.
spelled QUIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIII. Bobby Johnson fired. Thomas McGahee fired.
All right.
Dan Jones, I think, picked up a fucking ankle injury. Maybe phone a friend, Frank Reich. Learn how to do that. Brian Dable.
Is he on the hot seat?
Mandatory diet.
Is he on the hot seat?
Mandatory diet.
Joe Judge or Brian Dable? Who goes down
Mandatory.
better?
Oh well, I mean, Joe Judge was. Listen, you get wet, recover a football on the grass. That's a good year. That buys you 12 months.
Oh, Kramer.
What's there to talk about?
Well, where are you at with White Nick Mullins?
No, he's available.
Where are you at with Daniel Jones?
They do have. I mean, Sean would probably say something racist and slanderous about Italian Americans, but Tommy DeVito
warming up in the wings. Where do we go from here, Kramer? Giants
What do you mean,
Nation turns.
Who's
they
we?
Want to know
who is we?
The American people.
Me and all
What
the
are you
people.
fucking Dan Rather over here?
me and all the people that reached out, and thank you to the.
No one reached out.
There is
Stop creating fake bullshit.
Plenty of
Fake
people
news.
reached out. How is Kramer? Wellness check. I can't tell you how many wellness checks we've had. So
No
far
one
in the
looked out
season.
for a fucking wellness check. You know why? They like this.
They do seem
They
to
like
enjoy
this.
it. They like an unhinged Kramer. What do you do? Seriously though, what do we do next week?
Sign up for Patreon, or I'm not coming back.
Well, you throw.
Fuck you. I'm not working through this. I don't get hazard pay. What are you laughing at, college boy?
Oh, buddy, you threw for a nice buck.
I didn't do anything.
Does that
First of
include
all.
the sack
I
yards?
was about to
Get
say,
you know
if
what I
had
did?
that-
When we took the field in Canton, you know what I did?
You did get an
The only
interception.
fucking positive thing this organization put forth, and an embarrassing effort.
Oh, now
Equally
the,
as
now
embarrassing.
the flag football team's getting it.
That was embarrassing. That was fucking embarrassing.
Well,
You know what though? People were talking shit about Wink, the defense, Kayvon Thibodeau. As far as I could tell, he wasn't the problem. As far as who's not the Isaiah Simmons? That motherfucker was trying to hurt people. I like that.
I don't know that was a pretty bad edge. That was a pretty bad tackle on Noah Fant.
Fuck. That wasn't him.
Oh, okay.
That was Bobby Okereke.
You said the defense isn't the problem.
You know what? Take Bobby Okereke out on a boat, tie him up with chains and concrete, allegedly, and see if he can fucking swim better than he can tackle.
Colby, we got a pretty great boat trip going with all these Giants players and coaches.
Send them all out there.
Send them seaworthy, he says.
That's what you get when you bring out Victor Cruz and not Lawrence Taylor. Fucking guy who danced around.
How many times can they trot him out?
Now, what was your favorite scoring play from tonight?
Well, unfortunately, the Giants.
They had that sweet 55-yarder, right?
It's unbelievable.
It was a good night for Graham Gano. Ryan, we got to look at the positives.
I was.
He cleared that thing,
Sean,
like with a couple yards.
You know, I was early on the fucking Graham Gano train. Sean knows that.
Yes,
I was debating getting his jersey years ago.
Katie Mox in the chat saying petitioning
Katie,
for
not tonight
for hazard pay for you, Ryan. I haven't even been able to look at the chat. It is just electric.
Again, they like this, right? This is why you tune into a show where kids kill each other. Well, that's why fucking Hunger Games and all that Korean shit where they were playing red light, green light.
Well, you're talking about Squid Games.
Look,
there you go. I didn't actually watch it, but I heard about it.
I saw Rodney Harrison have to apologize for saying garbage, that Zach Wilson was garbage. So let me not apologize and say Daniel Jones is garbage. He's fucking garbage.
Colby, what would you rather be right now, Jets fan or a Giants fan?
Jets all day.
Jets have a competitive defense.
Yes,
they're out there.
Yes.
They're out there playing hard.
Yeah.
They have Zach Wilson, a guy who's a possible quarterback for the future.
The sauce, baby.
Sauce Gardner,
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson. There is some positives in Jets land.
Yeah. Let's go.
Stick to college, Colby.
I was on the Seahawks tonight, buddy.
Yes, a couple of NFL sharps. All right. Any final thoughts, Ryan, for the New York Football Giants?
Why do you want me to kill myself, Sean?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is so
like
you don't kill
yourself.
yourself.
Off myself.
This is so that you can process things, Ryan.
I will say this: that as I was thinking about college football only before the show, I was swirling through my head that I think one of the funniest things that be chirping off of my mentions right now are these fucking fantasy nerds who are quote tweeting my Daniel Jones best ball ownership.
Oh, sorry. That is kind of funny.
No, it's very funny. And you know what? Also, the prerequisite there, Sean, is having a fucking take, having an opinion. You know, it's very easy to stay in the fat part of the curve. I like to ride the fucking tail, Sean. A lot of pussies running into my mentions right now.
It is easy to come after the fact.
Oh, well, coming during the fact and after the fact.
You have to know when to come.
But I will say there are some interesting some people who clearly there was a bookmark involved.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
That's fine though.
Ooh.
That means they're listening.
That means they're listening.
And just like this fucking chat, bunch of ambulance chasers. You feel good about yourself, chat?
No, I think they do.
I know.
Chat is very
you know what
proud
they say?
of
You watch
right
those
now.
like how to be a streamer. They're like, always be really nice to the chat. Be real. Fuck you.
Oh wow.
You're here to watch pain.
Shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in.
You're the people that cheered mankind's face being peeled off.
Oh, Ryan, now you're getting.
Well, I felt bad for the guy. He always had to take it further.
So what do you think? Cap? Is Cap an option?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, he is still. He's still
write the Giants
Not on the Giants organization. If you've seen their,
I like to keep it clean, Sean.
they have certain rules when it comes to the type of quarterbacks they allow to play in for the Giants.
The chat seems to like it when I tell them to go fuck themselves. They're kinky.
Kramer, hey, let's get to some.
What do you want to talk about?
Oh,
what are you smirking over there about?
It's just look. It's a nice night.
It's a
something
nice night?
in the air, like Phil Collins. All right, there's a nice something nice
Didn't
about
Phil Collins
tonight.
get into trouble?
Phil Collins, he was on the Jets.
No, he's
tonight.
not canceled.
Oh, no,
I'm sorry,
wasn't.
he was on the.
He was
on the Seahawks
blocking.
tonight.
He was the right guard for the Giants.
I did randomly. Oh wow.
Oh, sorry, I can't make fun of the O line.
Wow.
11 sacks. I could blame Daniel Jones for holding on to the ball too long.
Everyone's to blame.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
No. You got that 55-yarder.
Yeah, don't bring down Graham Gano after his great night.
He did actually have a great night.
No, he did.
He
Something to build
He
on.
did something called success.
Yes.
They should write that on the fucking wall. Maybe sleep on it. What they call that? Learn by osmosis. Your soft ass fucking practice schedule is not working. Maybe Coughlin coming in as a fucking.
It's good to know that
advisor.
if you just get to the 37-yard line, that's an automatic 3 points. I think.
Yeah.
No.
It's a hard. It's tough to get to the 37.
Lock it up.
He's good. He's good within. He's good from like 65. I'd say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't shortchange this Giants team. Colby.
I did. It also did cause me to look up the third down QB sneak play.
Which one?
Third down QB sneak play.
Oh, the one from the infamous one that was the beginning of the end. Of
Didn't
the Joe
know
Judge
that
era.
the fucking cat bounces twice. Sorry, I know our audience isn't
Dead
that
cat
sophisticated.
bounce.
They might
Google
not
that. They
understand
might
that.
be able to.
They might not get that one.
To be clear, though,
They're the dumbasses that opened the box and killed the cat.
breaking news: the Giants are not tanking for Caleb Williams. Just to be clear.
Oh, please, let's go.
They're tanking for.
I'm in.
Alex McGo.
Alex Smith was under contract when the Chiefs drafted Mahomes.
Oh, okay.
They should try to trade for McGo though. I think he could do better.
Not,
He's more. He's more
Andrew
mobile.
Thomas and Dexter Williams. Or everyone else can fucking fall off a fucking boat. Deontay Banks has been playing.
this was extra days rest too. I think worth noting. The Giants coming off the mini bye, the
Not
Thursday
good.
to Monday.
That's why the 55-yarder went in.
Yeah. Well, and the Graham Gano prep really paid off.
Listen, and you know what?
Too many days.
Let
Listening
me
to
chime
J-Lo.
in here as someone who actually knows how to coach, and now that I'm watching other fucking coaches who are responsible for, I don't want to say this, but maybe organized school activities and things of that nature. There's just bad coaches everywhere. How do you have a special teams coach go through three head coaches kept the same fucking guy? Who is this guy? Why is he there? How do you have so many fucking penalties on special teams? I would at minimum there has to be a carcass. You have to bring the people a carcass.
Bring out your dead.
I would say bring me an offensive line coach because nothing's happened there positively in the past 2 years. This fucking prick ass Bobby Johnson, and then maybe let's just kill off the special teams coach too. At that point,
metaphorically,
no. And while you're at it, burn down the fucking building. I mean, we know people, Sean.
all right. Hey, perfect transition to hear about Little Caesars. Love Little Caesars. It is the official pizza of the NFL. Pizza, hot and ready. Unlike the New York Giants, Little Caesars never disappoints. Little Caesars, even if you're a Giants fan, you could have had a good night if you ordered Little Caesars. You can order online during their pizza pregame 1 hour before NFL games and get ready for football and fun. You pick the toppings you crave. I get weak in the knees for that pretzel crust pepperoni. That thing is delish. You got the crazy sticks. You got the 4-quarter calzone. There is just so much good stuff from Little Caesars. I also tried the cookie dough brownie. Cookie dough
like
brownies. Yes,
they're giving you that. I mean, that was fantastic.
It is so addictive, so delicious. Toss in the Caesar wings, and you got yourself a football feast. Little Caesars, convenient delivery or in store with their pizza portal pickup. Grab some friends, grab a few slices during the tastiest hour before kick. Okay, looking at the picks overall, everyone is above 50%. I'm sitting at 56%. Colby 58%. We really have to highlight Colby's impressive lock streak. Only gotten 2 locks wrong the entire season. 86%. What a heater, Colby.
Well, you know,
and 58% overall.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
and
like,
that was even after last week. I think we were all on the Kansas Jayhawks. Kramer had them on the money line. I had them as my lock plus 17. And then Jalen Daniels is a late scratch. There's a bunch of rumors going around about what is actually going on. There was even video of him wearing a backpack before the game. Now, Kansas reporters are saying it is just a back injury, but Colby, any thoughts on the Jayhawks and Jalen Daniels?
Well, I mean, that was
because I like him.
Yeah, I think he's.
But I don't know what the hell's
like
going on.
I think he's like a top 10 quarterback in college football. But
Soft.
You know, that would be nice to know that information and
maybe play through some shit.
Yeah, I mean, what is the deal? They said back tightness. Come on now.
Yeah.
What's going on right now?
What do you think
The
happened?
only one that's got back tightness is the Giants' offensive line right now. All right, and yeah, I just feel like that was out of the blue. That was that between that and I know CJ. I was doing a show with him this morning. He was on the Browns with Deshaun Watson.
Oh, there was a bunch of spots in the NFL with late injury news. Even sharps like us who are all over that kind of stuff. There were some curveballs there late.
College has to figure this out.
College really.
Crazy. This is a
100%. This was my DFS quarterback, my fantasy quarterback.
In the NFL, you can at least see some of the line movement. I literally woke up at 5:45 in the morning to get our flight back from Vegas to come watch college football and do whatever else. And the line was still at like 16 and 17.
Yeah. No, I had no knowledge.
In the NFL, you at least see the line slowly shift if a quarterback.
I would say that they're gonna. This becomes a problem when you have gambling.
Yeah,
you have to get ahead of it by having injury. Like the conferences probably are who's gonna figure it out first. I would assume, but they have to figure it out soon. And maybe it's as simple as maybe it's a Friday night thing. Everyone submits an injury report.
This is the perfect like metaphor for what is college football. In a way, what keeps it awesome and also is a double-edged sword. It hurts it. The Pac-12 created this thing that going into next year, they had a deal saying, "Hey, we're all gonna have to submit injury reports." Then what happens to the Pac-12?
So it's just Washington State and Oregon State reporting injuries to each other. That's amazing.
But I mean, I think. Yeah, you're going to see it. There's going to be the campaign. There's going to be some sort of commercial or campaign for it. I'm sure the coaches want it because then
I think it depends on the coach because like Whittingham, he's been doing this shit for a long time. He's like Belichick. He uses that as his advantage.
You can still kind of use it, but I mean, it wouldn't be as. I think where it's crazy is like you like not knowing a guy didn't practice all week, for example, right? Like that's the stuff where. In the NFL, you have to.
I think he did practice though. That's the thing. Right?
Jalen Daniels case, sure, but in these other cases where you just don't know, and with Jalen, so are you alluding to the fact that he might have been healthy going into the stadium, and he got hurt at the stadium? Like there's some roughhousing in the showers.
There's a lot of like weird stuff flowing around.
6th Street in Austin, maybe enjoyed some music
about what? Yeah, he got some breakfast tacos. No, like there are conspiracy theories that maybe he's holding out.
Holding out.
I'm not trying to get injured before the NFL. That kind of stuff.
Is he that big of a prospect?
I'm just telling you, these are the rumors that are floating around.
I mean, I think he's a very, very good college. I think
are these real rumors or Sean making?
Well, he also has another year of eligibility if he wants to. So,
isn't he going to get paid in college if he wants to stay for?
True, and you would think Kansas has that. They got that Bill Self blood money. You would think that they might hop on over to the football field a little bit.
I mean, but maybe we can contract Bill Self to come have a meeting with Bobby Johnson. See what kind of wet work he does.
And shout out to the Buffs. Great cover. Never in doubt. We coming for that 22-point cover.
Come on. The 28-point game. Then USC took their foot off the gas, and it was a backdoor cover. All right.
No, you got lucky they didn't recover that onside kick because they would have went for 2 and scored. Yeah.
And shout out to
hey guys, you want to rush the field again? It's gonna be fun.
We got Colby and I got incredibly lucky on Notre Dame covering Duke. That was if you had Duke, that was a bad beat, I would say.
I mean, it's not like anything's going right for me.
Hold on.
Come on,
Can we talk about?
Come on. We hit some first touchdowns.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's barely anything. Who gives a shit?
We had some great moments happen on the college football field / stadium.
We got some videos.
Yes.
This weekend,
yes.
I went 4-9. Nothing went well for me.
Well,
Josh,
don't worry. The 55-yarder went in.
I've already ordered a Graham Gano. Actually, you know what? Someone send me a Graham Gano jersey. I'm not gonna buy it, but I want one.
Josh, if you can pull up a couple of the videos we sent, because youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast.
Oh, first there's this guy.
This is a still image of a Tennessee Vols fan.
Well, we're gonna.
I have been told.
Dude, they're gonna take this video
I said
down.
it was a Vols fan, and I have been told by multiple Tennessee people that he's actually wearing a Gamecock shirt. I can't really make it out, but they might be right.
There's definitely a cock involved.
His pants are down.
This is a photo of the year right here. What? Look at that one cop on the. You know, go to YouTube, folks.
He's looking
watch
at his
this.
cock. He's trying to figure
He's
out.
got the tough job. The other cop just handcuffing him. Right?
Well,
Yep.
it's tricky because they can't walk him off without pulling his pants up.
Yeah.
But his
And
hands
his
are cuffed.
cuffed.
So
Yeah.
someone's gonna basically have to hopefully not touch his dick.
That's the worst job, and that's the worst job in America.
And he may have shit himself. If you're that guy, you just say fuck it, shit yourself.
I like welcome to UAB says that looks like my future.
Oh, beautiful.
Man, that's photo. That needs to be on a rap album.
He's related
yeah,
to Jerry
that
Jones,
that
right?
needs to be on an album.
And
cover.
then of course Ole Miss with the win going.
That's a
going
broken,
nuts.
That's a broken tailbone.
he was making out. If you find there's another video out on the internet where he's like making out with the goalpost for like 10 minutes.
There's a
Right?
kid who tries a flip off of the goalposts at the Ole Miss game after they rush the field. It's an incredibly slow flip that he doesn't really complete.
I mean,
and just immediately rocked by the ground.
That's too many Jaeger bombs. He
Imagine-
thought he had that. Sober, he's got that. I think.
I was gonna say, imagine
He doesn't jump. He just like rolls off the goalpost.
if you're listening on the podcast, just imagine a guy falling off the goalpost.
Like Humpty Dumpty.
That's
yes.
basically what it is. And he kind of flips and falls on his ass.
All right, last one. Of course, you may have seen this one, but this is everyone storming the field. There's one security guard who cannot stop anyone. Many have compared him to a Giants offensive line, but he does throw a shoulder into a chick.
I mean, he's got good footwork though. If you
No,
look, he
what do you
definitely
mean
has
he's
spent
got-
some time playing on the offensive line. Yeah,
so good.
I mean, just
I gotta
great
be
work.
honest. He, if anything,
Look at that footwork. Look at that footwork.
I'd say he needs to like get a lighter on his toes.
All right, let's get to the picks. What do we got, Kramer?
Oh, Sean's not having a good time tonight.
Oh, I'm having a great time.
For some reason, Sean's trying to push the show along or unorganically quick. 4:30 on Friday.
You want to talk about the Giants? What do you do? I mean, you're signed to Daniel Jones long term. What do you do from here?
It's a 2-year deal. We went over this when the signing happened, and I'm not a contract expert, so you can go off and talk
you need
to your
Howie
fucking.
Roseman.
No, I don't need Howie Roseman. Once they figure that one out, then the world will know. Kansas State, Oklahoma. You wanted to talk college football, I think. Kansas State, Oklahoma State. We're in the Stillwater on a Friday night. It's going to be lit. That's one of the more fun stadiums to watch a game. I'd imagine but even on TV, the proximity to the fans is really fucking awesome. Kansas State laying 11.5 here, -425 on the money line. Oklahoma State +340, 54.5 is the total.
I mean, is this
what?
I want to go Oklahoma State because they're a home dog. It's in Stillwater. They lost to Kansas State last October 48-0. So it seems like this is a huge revenge spot for Oklahoma State. But Oklahoma State's really bad. They look bad against South Alabama, Iowa State. They're really bad.
I agree. It's hard, and they both got bye weeks. So you're thinking, can Gundy get 2 weeks to get this team up for this game? Potentially. But Oklahoma State, every single game that I've watched, I've not been impressed. Even their wins, I've been like, ugh.
Well, Kansas State averaging 198.5 yards on the ground. Couldn't they just run it right down their throats and not make this a game at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something. And I know that K-State's like one of their better players, Treshaun Ward, is questionable. Their running back. Man, I think I'll go with the points. It's Friday night. I feel like this place will be ready for it, and this team getting 2 weeks to prep. But I think K-State is definitely going to win this game.
Oklahoma State coming off the bye.
Well, Kansas State is too, right?
Yeah, both got buys. Both got buys.
Oklahoma State also is the home team. Home team's covered the last 4 years in this series. I mean, is this the dummy play? I've watched Josh behind the scenes change his pick at least 3 times.
I'll go Oklahoma State, but my confidence is low because of how bad they've been.
Yeah,
it's a dummy. It's
normally this would be a smash spot.
Well, it's October in college football now, which means we're gonna start seeing weird results. Yeah, I don't know. Kansas State's way better, but
You're going to Oklahoma State?
It'll be lit.
Lit factor
It'll
carries
be lit. That felt like a tough pick. Maybe the Discord will have another good week. Maryland heads to Ohio State
Undefeated
early on
Terps.
Saturday. They're 5-0.
5-0.
Taking on Ohio State. Ohio State's laying 20 minus 1200 on the money line. Maryland plus 750. 55.5 is the total. Which of the Tua brothers are better at this point?
Yeah.
Does the younger Tua also know judo? Like, is it they get like a family discount?
I think that's hereditary, right? They passed that down.
This is an interesting nugget. For the first time since 1940, Ohio State will play 5 consecutive undefeated opponents to open its season. Kind of random how that worked out for them. But how can Ohio State lay this many points? Their offense hasn't looked that great. 20 feels crazy to me. Am I crazy, Colby?
Yeah, I just don't trust Maryland. Maryland's played nobody to me. Like
Maryland's a paper tiger, a paper turtle.
They played Towson week 1, breaking in a brand new coach. Charlotte week
Maryland
2.
is +9 on the season turnover margin.
They've played 3 brand new coaches. So they got the Towson 3 brand new coaches, and then because they got Harlan Barnett in his first game at Michigan State, and then they got 2 coaches that are about to be fired in Indiana and Virginia. I think you lay the 20. I don't think Maryland's nearly as good as their record. I will lay the points with the Buckeyes.
In the history of the series, how many times has Maryland beat Ohio State?
How many games have they played?
8.
I'll say never.
Never.
Yeah.
Oh, and okay, let me help you out. With the exception of I think 2, most of these are like 60-0. Like these have been some really bad fucking scores.
But
yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't trust this Ohio State team to cover 20. I'm going Maryland. I see what you're saying.
It was 13 last year, but that was in College Park.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but this Maryland, don't you think this Maryland team's better than last year's Maryland team? Or you're saying
no, I think this team's worse. Look,
even though they're undefeated, you're saying
they're not as good.
Who they've played.
Yeah, they're not as good in the line of scrimmage. But look at these outings. I'm going to rattle off all. They joined the Big Ten in 2014. These are their outings.
Great get by
in Columbus. In Columbus, Ohio. In 2021, they lost 66-17.
That's close.
2019, 73-14. 2017 62-14 and 2015 49-28.
It's not good.
So but I guess I'm looking at Youngstown State. They only won by 28.
That's a sympathy play though, because Tressel,
he was
their legendary
Indiana.
coach. Yeah.
Now Indiana, they only beat by 20,
but that was at Indiana.
That was at Indiana.
I mean, I got burned on that too. I took Ohio
they beat
State,
Western Kentucky by 53.
Yeah.
And they are coming off a bye, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because damn it. All right, you talked me into Ohio State.
Look at that. See, that's all you had to do.
I'm with you. I mean,
because
all of a sudden it's trendy to take chalk when Colby does it. Huh?
No, in my head I was thinking letdown game after Notre Dame, but the bye knocks that out. So I will.
Do you not remember how
State.
pissed off Ryan Day was about Lou Holtz?
You're right. He does have a chip.
They're going to want to come out and fuck up Maryland to show how tough they are.
All right, so you're on
Ryan Day was very upset. I mean, you don't think that's going to carry over into practice? They're going to want to make a statement. I love laying the points here. All right, another early kick on Saturday. I will say, Sean, flying back early on Saturdays back from Vegas after doing Sports Gambling Live, Sports Gambling Podcast Live on VSiN,
9 o'clock
is
Pacific.
being able to get that early morning action in on the books out there. It's very nice. Anyway, LSU laying 7 here at Missouri. Always a weird trip in the SEC. Missouri plus 220 on the money line. 63.5 is the total.
This is a dream crusher game. LSU, now that they have 2 losses, no chance at the college football playoff. This defense, I cannot trust at all.
They just gave up 706 yards of offense. That was disgusting.
And
it's a lot. It's like the Broncos.
Brady Cook's looking good for Missouri.
Well, I think the big
10.4 yards per attempt.
I think the big thing you think about here is Missouri's wideouts. They have Luther Burden, who will be a first-round NFL draft pick at some point. He's a former like top recruit in the nation at wideout, and they have him, Theo Weiss, the Oklahoma transfer, and then Mookie Cooper. Like this wide receiving core for Missouri is pretty fucking good. And LSU's defensive backfield's awful. So I think you gotta take Mizzou, especially if they're at home. Yeah.
If you're playing DFS, don't you look to this Missouri game?
Yeah, I'd certainly think so.
I mean,
but Missouri's defense, man, over the past 2 years has been pretty solid.
Play a little defense.
Nice home dog here, and 63.5 is crazy for the total. Kramer, you riding with the Miz?
Well, I mean, again, it's one of these weeks it feels in college football where you get some nice juicy home dogs. I like this better when it was 6.5. I see that it was updated to 7. I felt a lot better when they were begging us to take LSU at 6.5. But yeah, no. Let's see what real quick. Let's just double check the money splits. Make sure we're not doing anything stupid. I feel like the money's been helping us this year. Oh yeah, we love LSU's getting all the action.
Dog.
Confirmed. I will be on you guys. That's 3 picks for the Discord right in a row. We're all agreeing. That's weird. Doesn't make for the best show, Sean. We should start to disagree. 9 a.m. Another one. This one used to have a cool name. Now it doesn't have a cool name, and there's a sponsor in front of it. The AT&T Red River Showdown. I mean, lame.
Put anything in as long as they don't play it at the AT&T the stadium, whatever the fuck.
Do you know the official reason they changed the name from the Red River Shootout in 2005? I feel like you. I mean, I want
David Koresh.
No, I mean, it's literally as dumb as they wanted to distance themselves from gun violence.
Yes,
that is I grew up with this. With the Washington Bullets.
The Bullets.
The most ridiculous thing ever.
You don't think Wizards have killed some people?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
They cast these spells on people.
This is the irony that this is so stupid is that they DC led the country in murder rate. So they thought it was Rex Chapman making jump shots that people were influenced by Rex Chapman that they would go kill people. But they changed the name Bullets, which is a normal name. And you see announcers say he's on fire. He's shooting lights out all the time. To the Wizards, which the head of the Ku Klux Klan is named the Grand Wizard.
Wow.
So I mean, come on.
I will say they could have done a little bit of research.
Yeah.
Wizards is a really weird name.
It's
for
so stupid
for so many reasons. Come on. Let's get back to the Red River Shootout. Stupid name change. We can still call it the Red River Shootout. It's not offensive here. Oklahoma catching 6.5 here, plus 200 on the money line. 60.5 is the total. Which team has the better quarterback, Colby?
Texas.
Well,
I don't know. Oklahoma's backup quarterback is fucking really good. He's going to be in the NFL too.
Dylan Gabriel's looked all right, but to me, I've kind of been surprised with Texas's defense. I think they in particular their front, I thought it's been pretty good.
But you know what's helped that too, though? They've played 3 straight backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 straight backup.
But they're doing good at slowing down the run. 94.6 rushing yards per game. Tavondre Sweat 6'4", 362. I think Texas gets this done because I don't think Oklahoma's going to be able to run on them at all, and I think they become one-dimensional in the passing game.
Have they played
horns up?
Whoa! Have they played a quarterback that can throw? Period.
JT Daniels was a 5-star recruit in week 1. I mean, Rice messed with him a little bit.
Slovis was also a 5-star.
But here's the thing: Oklahoma hasn't played anybody.
Okay,
they haven't played.
So it goes
anybody.
both ways. You're
saying. But Texas won 49-0 last year. You wonder about the motivational side from Oklahoma and Venables. However, I'm going to agree with stacking the money. Horns up. I think Texas is just the better football team. You go back and watch the Oklahoma SMU game or the Oklahoma Cincinnati game. I thought they had some flaws on tape despite winning those games. I think Texas will be able to take advantage of those.
Venables, maybe. Maybe he's got the defense figured out. He got embarrassed. This is a game. Tons of pressure. I mean, the whole season kind of comes on this game. If he gets his ass kicked again, that's no bueno. They're a very, very unpopular spot right now, catching less than 25% of the bets and the money. Sean, 6.5. They're begging me. They're begging you to lay the 6.5. I'm not taking the trap is to lay the 6.5 like you donkeys. Give me Oklahoma on the neutral site.
Oh, no!
Do they still call it the Cotton Bowl?
They do.
Oh wow. Sure, that offends some people. We'll have to investigate.
You know
that.
who picked?
Well, I mean the name Oklahoma means Redskins, guys. So I mean,
wow.
But hey, no one wants to talk about that one, huh?
Oh, you
yeah. No one wants to talk about that one, huh? Let's cheer on Oklahoma. But Redskins is okay in that scenario.
Colby, what will you have to hate if they rename the Commanders to the Redskins?
Who are the Commanders?
Oh, well done. 11 a.m. on the West Coast. Raleigh, North Carolina plays host to Marshall and North Carolina State. I'm sure Colby will explain why we're talking about this one. -6 for NC State, -240 on the money line. Marshall plus 200. 55.5 is the 45.5 is the total. We talking about this because they're not going to have their starting quarterback.
They're going. I mean, I think he was benched though. Was it injured or benched?
I don't think. I didn't.
Talking about MJ Morris being named the starting quarterback
over Brennan Armstrong.
Yeah.
I didn't see any news about an injury, but it's college. Maybe they're just not disclosing.
That could be, but I part of me thinks that they're doing this. The NC State wideouts aren't very good. Now Brennan Armstrong hasn't played good either, but some of that might be because their wideouts aren't very good and their run game has been pretty nasty. Their starting running back just before.
This to me just feels like a good time to fade Marshall. NC State tough loss to Louisville, bounce back spot at home. Is it more complicated than that, Colby?
Well, I mean, if Marshall wants to go undefeated, this would be a huge opportunity for them. But I'm with you. I think that's a tough place to win.
Does the backup have juice?
He's good. He started a couple games last year.
Isn't that what it comes down to? You feel good about laying 6 with this backup?
At home, yes. I think that's a tough place to win. I will lay the 6. Do I feel great about it? No, but I think the
audience wants confidence. So how can they be confident about?
Well, NC State looks like shit, but at the same time, I just feel like that home environment is Marshall hasn't had to go into that environment yet. So I think that's worth laying the 6.
Sean, I think we might have to consider adding it to the book, but NC State disappoints.
Yeah,
all the time
they do. This is the time to get off the Marshall train.
What do you mean? I candidly, I don't want to. Maybe I missed something, but I haven't been on the Marshall train.
Okay,
so I don't know if. Are you feeling?
Well, they beat
dangerous?
Virginia Tech. They beat Old Dominion. They beat ECU.
Virginia Tech.
They beat both your teams.
Right, relax, everybody. All right.
I mean, they're on. I mean, first of all, ECU is really bad this year, as is Virginia Tech.
We should play, but you guys didn't want to play us anymore.
Who's you guys?
Don't you donate to Virginia Tech? Don't you? You have a fucking voice, buddy. That's how college football works.
Actually,
when you donate the money, you kind of say, "We want to play this team or that team," and guess what? The school, the athletic director, school presidents have to say, "Hey, we should do what they say." That's how it works. It's kind of like the Green Bay Packers, but for everybody.
I actually didn't send in my check to Coach Pride this year.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow!
Yeah, exactly.
Now I understand why Rutgers got 8 yards of rush.
Oh well, I mean, a little fucking effort, and maybe Coach, maybe
Coach Pride should coach the Giants.
Now you're going too far.
Why?
Because obviously that wouldn't be very good.
Oh, okay.
He's not doing a good job either. Both guys are fucking all glitz and glamour. Go fucking coach. Last thing I'll add, is it possible NC State could be considering a game against Duke on deck, who is ranked?
And Duke without Riley Leonard, most likely.
Yeah, beatable Duke. Rest in peace, Riley Leonard. Is that like a season ender?
No, we thought it was when it happened. I think the whole
I saw
world
the replay.
did.
I thought it was
a high ankle sprain, so probably 2-3 weeks. Something like that. That could be a month.
Those linger, especially when you got to run. Yeah, I'm going. I think I got to go Marshall.
All right.
I think I got to play the fact that NC State, boy, they love to disappoint, and I'm always on the wrong side of the NC State game. I did have Louisville laying that 3.5. So Washington State heads to Pasadena. Sean, Rose Bowl. Will Colby be there? Noon. Colby, if you wanted to go, the game's at noon. UCLA is laying 3.5 -175.
Are they breaking out a new Pinot Grigio? They got something.
Oh, I'm not
showing that.
We got some cab.
I don't know.
They haven't revealed what year, what vintage they will be celebrating with in the stands.
I don't know what kind of fugazi you think I am. I'm not drinking that white shit. Come on, give me a nice
Kramer's
red. Give me a nice red.
Pinot or nothing for this.
You know
guy.
when Daniel Jones drinks wine, it's white. Right?
That's how white Daniel Jones is.
There were a couple white angles taken on Daniel Jones.
Noah Fant. There was whoever was the Giants safety took.
No, it was Bobby Okereke. He can be on the boat. He should be on the boat with the broken engine. Oh no!
Oh, Josh brought up the original boat trip.
I guess Sterling Shepard still is on the team. Maybe he needs to be put down too. All right, Washington State plus 150 here. there is 0% chance I'm going to fade Washington State.
Washington State's been a fun team. Cam Ward has been balling out, but UCLA struggles with physical teams, and I don't know if Washington State is that physical team. Washington and UCLA both coming off buys. They're at home. I kind of think this line is telling you to take UCLA.
It is.
Colby, what are you doing?
There's been a lot of disrespect to the University of Washington State, and I think that fuels
chip on their shoulder.
I think that fuels this team. You just saw Pat McAfee go after him.
What was that about?
Yeah, and hey, Pat McAfee, you went to fucking West Virginia, bro. You know what I mean?
You are Washington.
Yeah, I'm
State.
saying Morgantown is the East version of Pullman.
I've been to both of those towns. They are strangely similar.
So yeah, I think that fuels them, and I think they're going to be ready to go. I'm gonna lay the points.
You want a hot take?
What's that?
If for a college season, if I'm drafting the quarterbacks in the Pac-12 or the country, Cam Ward.
We were talking about him last year. We're like a year ahead of him.
I might take him over Caleb Williams.
Well,
in college,
I'll say this. Like if we're going back to our wine Daniel Jones conversation, if you pair him with that offensive coordinator Arbuckle, they're a fucking great match.
Again, why would I fade him at this point? I've seen the UCLA blow too many games in the Rose Bowl. I can't do it. This Washington State team is well coached. Their quarterback knows what to do. I trust him more than anyone in the fucking conference. And that's crazy because Penix and Caleb Williams
and I'll say I think Washington State, if they win this, assuming they can avoid the upset, they'll be favored, I think, to potentially play for the Pac-12 championship, because yes, they still have Oregon and Washington, but I think 2 losses, even if they lose those 2, they'll have the tiebreaker over UCLA and Oregon State. I think that might be enough to get you into the Pac-12 championship, assuming they beat all the other teams they're favored against.
Who's in the Pac-12 championship prediction?
It's so crazy right now. I feel like it's
USC.
I don't think USC has the defense to get through everybody at the end.
No, they let that backdoor cover to Colorado. I mean,
USC has to play at Oregon.
Backdoor cover.
They're home. They get them in a row. USC gets like Oregon, Utah, Washington, and UCLA like 4 out of 5 games. I don't know that's sustainable there. So yeah,
they're telling you to take UCLA. I'll go Wazoo. I do like rooting for this. I think this is a 3-point game. So you give me Washington State in the points,
and there's no real home edge there. If anything, you're probably gonna be a few drunken Cougs, few Ryan Leafs out there. You know what I mean?
Hey, you can head to this game, get in. I'm looking at tickets over on Game Time, the app, and GameTime.co. Plenty of great tickets available for this game and all games. I still haven't got my tickets to Eagles Rams this Sunday. Not worried about it at all because I know Game Time is going to get me covered with their low price guarantee. If you can find tickets in the same section in a row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Don't even try. Don't even try. They got football, basketball, maybe go playoff baseball, concerts, comedy, theater. They got it all. Take the misses out to something fancy during the week. Free up some time for the weekend. Game Time is great. Super easy, super convenient. Just download the Game Time app. Use promo code SGPN. Get $20 off your first purchase. You're already going to the game. Why not save $20? That's $20 you could put down on essentially free roll a sweet parlay and maybe come out ahead. Terms apply. Again, create the account, redeem the code SGPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
All right, let's get back to college football. 12:30 on the West Coast. Chapel Hill. Why are we picking this game? Syracuse, North Carolina. No, are we talking about this because you're thinking the Giants might draft Drake May next year? -9 for North Carolina, -340 on the money line. Syracuse plus 270. Cuse really let us down last week.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
I mean, just such pussy ass.
This is what they
not going for it. 4th and 1, and you're on the opponent's 40, and you're at home, and you're punting. Yeah. Or no. They tried to kick a 58-yarder.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I'm totally out of this. I've had moments where I fall in love with the Syracuse football program. Not today. And Syracuse not great as a road dog. UNC, I don't know. This is more just honestly a fade of Cuse. Give me UNC all day. Lay the 9. Don't worry about it. This Cuse team's gonna lay down.
I'm with you, man. I think just it's a bad Syracuse has had a lot of their team injured. Rondé Gadsden Jr. out for the season, like 3 other offensive players out for the season, and I think they don't have the depth. I'm with you. Carolina -9. Let's go.
Yeah,
Kramer.
Isn't it a little chalky for us to be doing this? It's the first game of a back-to-back road trip for them.
Am I crazy? I swore
Carolina's
Syracuse
off the
was
bye.
actually getting some money. I could be making that up, but
no. I mean, not according to the DK data on VSiN. It's very, very heavily skewed to North Carolina. Like, again, they're coming off the bye. Miami's on deck.
I just don't think Syracuse has the if they had everyone healthy, they would have the offensive players for the Orange Men to come into Chapel Hill and perhaps get the dub.
We're not looking ahead to Miami.
No, I mean, look, I think Carolina's actually pretty legit.
Statement game. Drake May statement game. Syracuse really let me down last week. This could be an emotional
more just me
play.
pissed at Syracuse.
Alabama, Texas A&M. Thought Alabama was looking ahead last week. Turns out they weren't.
It turns out Mississippi State's ass, and they're going to be coachless soon.
Also, that
yeah.
Texas A&M catching 3 at home here, +120 on the money line, -135 for Bama. I hate this game. I mean, what's Alabama doing to us right now?
I think they got a little something to go with the offense. I think this is Saban coming to town. I like Alabama here, laying the 3.
I don't. I like A&M.
Yeah.
I actually think it's a blessing in disguise that Wegman got injured. Even though Wegman is like the more talented quarterback, I think Max Johnson and the offense go a little bit better with him. And Alabama, they lost the last time at Texas A&M to Zach Calzada, who now plays in the FCS.
Where's he playing?
Incarnate Word.
Oh yeah, love a good Calzada.
You don't think Saban knows that, Colby? You don't think he's gonna have a little chip on his shoulder?
I thought
going
that
back
last
to
year
Station?
when A&M got to the 1 yard line and almost won in Tuscaloosa. A&M actually
Alabama won by 4. No worries.
My point was, but A&M was 5-7 last year.
Yes. Well, that was their Super Bowl playing Alabama.
Well, this is the biggest game. This is if they win this, they have the inside track. Whoever wins this game will have the inside track to win in the SEC West.
I remember some of us were invested a little in the A&M futures.
Yeah, I think Road Rash face Bobby Petrino gets it done. So I will take A&M. I think on the money. You take it on the money line. This is a good spot. I think Bama is going to have to pass the ball. If I'm Jimbo, I'm saying to DJ Durkin, let's load the fucking box. Make them pass the ball to beat us. I don't think they can.
I love Texas A&M here. Wrong team favored.
Yep. Guys, you get some of that front line because your public dog's going to be having some plays. This is the cute spot where
85% of the bets.
It's early, Ryan. It's
early. Now it's early.
Yeah,
you
don't tell me you don't think gambling Twitter, gambling content world is going to be giving out Texas A&M as their trendy dog pick of the week.
No.
But look, have you ever seen a Saban team that can't throw the forward pass like this? You know what I mean? Like
it's not good. It reminds me of what was that Greg McElroy teams?
So look, Milroe threw the ball 10 of 12 last week for 164 yards, 0 interceptions, 0 touchdowns.
How was that the plan?
Dialed in?
But A&M's got a really good defensive line. So I think they can neutralize the run game and make them have to pass the ball. If anything, the weakness for A&M's the secondary.
I liked what they did getting Jalen Milroe going on the ground. I think that's how they win this game.
And I think that's how Alabama needs to.
Colby,
I just think that the talent level here will stop them.
When they had that record-setting NIL class, was that not a lot of money going to defensive linemen? 5-star defensive
they're
linemen.
Loaded on the defensive line.
They're just loaded there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that Alabama offensive line is not a typical Alabama offensive line. I think this is a smash spot, Colby. This is great pick by you.
Smash!
Questionable pick by Sean. Moving along, UCF, which by the way we were watching the recap of that game or the highlights of that game. Oh man, insane one there.
Blew
for
a
UCF.
25-point fourth quarter lead.
Yeah, and I think if you count the final minute of the third quarter, it was 28-point lead.
That's the kind of stuff that can really only happen in college football. They're heading to Lawrence, Kansas, to take on Kansas laying 2.5 minus 135 on the money line. UCF plus 115. 62.5 is the total. I mean, is he playing?
Both quarterbacks are questionable. Both quarterbacks. John Rice Plumlee, Jalen Daniels.
He's great too.
Well, you know who I like? Jason Bean is a better backup than.
Yeah, I think this is a decent spot for Kansas. Central Florida, completely different team, home road. Also, that loss that was like a gut punch. Losing to Baylor in the way they lost, that's got to just destroy your confidence. Kansas, I think at home, licking their wounds, they'll be all right. I like KU here.
Jalen Daniels comes back. Kansas puts it on UCF if he plays. If not, then we're gonna have to eke it out. But if Daniels plays, which I think he will,
you love both these teams, Colby.
I don't. UCF was a 1 year thing that I just promoted the fact they went undefeated.
You want to separate yourself from that? Like,
I mean,
like the Red River shootout.
They were rivals with ECU, and you know. And I always get into with their fan base that says we're not Central Florida anymore. We're UCF. We're not the Golden Knights anymore. We're the Knights. It's like, okay, shut the fuck up.
Wow,
yeah, no one cares.
That does sound like a lot of drama. Which quarterback has a better chance to play based on your intel?
Well, I'm going to say I think Daniels because Rice Plumlee took quite the hit.
What do you think actually happened to Daniels?
Probably having sex. You know what I mean?
Do you think he violated some rules?
Yeah, he's one of those guys who will get penetration.
I get it. You go to Austin, you see the talent everywhere.
Yeah.
He's probably just reading and reacting. You know, that's what coach would want. I'm with you. Give me Kansas.
We're all on Kansas. What could go wrong? Hey, we're also all signed up for Underdog Fantasy. If you haven't signed up with Underdog Fantasy, what are you waiting for? They got their college pick'em, NFL pick'em. You can win up to 20x if you go 5 for 5. I know Cameron Kerr from the Golf Gambling Podcast. He hit a 90-1. A 90-1 turned $10 into $900. They give away $100,000 every Sunday, once a week. They give 10 people $10,000 between now and October 4th. So only a couple days left. 100% deposit bonus up to $500. That means you deposit $500 over at Underdog Fantasy using promo code SGPN. They will match that. They'll give you a free $500. A lot of times it's tough to find pick 'em higher, lower fantasy stuff for college football. They have you covered. I don't think a lot of the lines are out yet. Kramer will go early look at Thursday Night Football. Justin Fields, his higher, lower set at 46.5 rushing yards. What are you doing there? Higher, lower?
I mean, is he starting?
I assume he's starting.
I assume it will be a void if he doesn't start.
Yes.
Honestly, can I pivot and just say let's take the over a half fumble lost? It's spicy.
Oh,
it's a 1.5 Xer.
Yeah. What are we talking?
There's spicy.
Higher that for sure. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN.
All right, and now we're back to talking more college football. Kentucky. Nice win for Kentucky last week.
Easy
Stoops,
handicap.
Hey, Stoops is getting the pen out to get that contract extension signed. He's well on his way. But this week they got a trip to Athens, Georgia on deck.
Kentucky's smelling themselves here, right?
UGA laying 14.5 minus 650 on the money line. Kentucky plus 475. 47.5 is the total. And shout out to the chat, not to go back a game, but welcome to UAB saying UCF is a school for future Disney resort managers. Wow. And Ryan Hasty pointing out that both of Jordan's kids went there. Not true. Jimmy Butler did not go to UCF. That's incorrect information. We like to be factual here.
But nice hair. He's got.
All right? So obviously,
Brian in the YouTube chat is a Georgia fan, pointing out the Kentucky line went from 19. It's all the way down to 14.5. He still says take Kentucky. I think Georgia fans a little skeptical of Georgia.
I think he has a great point. I mean, look at the last two times they've played in Athens. Those are two teams that I think Georgia was very, very good those years. 21-0 in 2019, Georgia won, and then 2 years ago they won 30-13. But those teams were a lot better than this Georgia team has shown so far.
Kentucky leads the SEC in yards per carry, 6.5, and fucking. I mean, maybe it was just to get one game, but Georgia looked
No, the South Carolina game too. They struggled.
Looked vulnerable against Auburn on the ground, and like you mentioned, they haven't exactly been crushing the competition like in years past. They've only. I mean, what was the spread in the Gamecocks? It was a similar type deal, right? It was like
something
a
else.
road 2 to 3 touchdown spread that they were on upset alert in the first half and then struggled to get it done. So yeah, I can't take Georgia either. I think even what did we discuss last week was has the quarterback really been in a tough spot?
Man, I guess take the points. I think this
You're
is.
worried about just.
I thought Georgia. I thought Georgia was going to cover it against Auburn because I don't think Auburn's very good. I still think Georgia could shut out Kentucky potentially with their defense, but
217 yards on the ground against Auburn. How do you explain that with a Georgia defense?
I'll take the points still. I don't feel great about it, but I'll take the points.
Yeah, I'll ride with you guys. Although
Are you worried?
I am worried. This is a Kentucky's feeling themselves after the big win over Florida.
I can see like 24
Georgia,
to 7.
Georgia
final.
almost feels like it's a loss. So it's to your point, 28-10 type game.
They have 5 wins. They only needed 2 more for him to get his contract extension.
Well, they're not getting one here. I don't think they're a live dog, which is always scary.
Colby,
taking that many points.
If Kentucky can have success running the ball, are they a live underdog?
To win? No.
Yes.
They're not going to win in Athens. No. I don't think they're good enough.
Give me Kentucky. I've been very wrong with Kentucky this year too. Just PSA for anyone who wants to tail this pick. Discord's on. Georgia laying the 14.5. All right, 4:30 here on the West Coast. Michigan and Minnesota. Minnesota catching 20.5 points here at home, plus 800 on the money line. Michigan laying 1,400. 47.5 is the total. I mean, I guess the way this line is positioned also suggestive to make it seem like we should hurry up and grab Michigan before it gets 3 touchdowns. Michigan, like Georgia, maybe they stopped. Maybe they'll play with their food. Maybe they won't. Michigan's win last week or against Nebraska was a nice okay.
I'm also seeing it at 18.5 now.
Oh, update. Does that change my take? Clearly people are like, oh yeah, Minnesota, great play here. Let's row that fucking boat. But I think
Michigan's in fuck you mode.
Yeah,
they put it on Nebraska. They're gonna put it on Minnesota. It's a conference game.
Who's better, Nebraska or Minnesota?
They're not looking.
Well, Minnesota won by 3 in overtime or whatever. No,
yeah, they're not looking ahead towards Indiana. Michigan, I think
back-to-back road spot.
All systems go.
Are we worried about a back-to-back road spot?
Not for this Michigan team, no. I'll take Michigan laying 18.5.
Nebraska's pretty far. I haven't looked at the map.
Problem
recently,
has been Minnesota's offense has been ass this year, so it's like Michigan's defense is pretty fucking good.
I don't want to get cute here. Let's buy this now. Let's buy back against these sharps betting Minnesota down. Let's get this juicy number. Let's stop order here. 18.5. That's a go.
Colby, what are you doing?
All right, let's take it.
Lay the points, right?
Let's take the points,
dude. Man,
Colby, where's your?
What's wrong, Colby?
I feel like Minnesota's offense is fucking terrible.
Yeah,
so
that's why we're taking Michigan.
But
you don't trust yourself.
Case
You're
closed.
the best. You're the best college football picker in the land. I've seen the numbers.
Let's lay the. I locked them up last week, or not on this show, but I'm saying it was a lock of
do
mine.
Other shows?
I do multiple locks, So I
guy.
locked up Michigan minus 18 at Nebraska. It hit, but I do think Minnesota's better than Nebraska. However, let's lay it. Give me like a 28-7 final.
Yeah, they're not good. Confirmed. They lost to Northwestern. What are we doing? That's a system play. Teams that lose the Northwestern this year are just really, really bad. 4:30 on the West Coast. Notre Dame, Louisville in Louisville. Louisville minus or plus 6.5. 51.5 is the total. Notre Dame. This is the 3rd straight undefeated, kind of like the trend you were saying earlier. I think this is the 3rd undefeated team Notre Dame's faced, and I believe they have USC on deck, so maybe there'll be a 4th. Louisville's been good. It was one of Colby's calls in the preseason. I would imagine they're above where you expected them to be win wise.
Yeah, but they have a great chance of making the ACC championship game. This game is irrelevant for that, and that is why I think you should bet the hell out of Notre Dame. I love this play. I think Louisville doesn't have the physicality yet that Brown wants. You watch, the offense has been inconsistent. It's there at times that Jack Plummer can get that offense going, but it's been inconsistent throughout the game. I think Notre Dame with that awesome offensive line. I also think Notre Dame is going to be a little healthier this week. I think you lay the 6.5. That's true. So the Shack will be lit, but I just
it's going to be so lit.
I think it's just a bad matchup. The way that Notre Dame plays football and the way that Louisville, I think it's kind of a finesse team. I just think it's a bad matchup. I think you lay the 6.5 at Notre Dame.
Back-to-back road spot in the Illuminati conference. Why is Notre Dame not joining the ACC yet? I mean,
most likely to have Skull and Bones ACC.
Well, no, the best is
they should rename. How badass would that be if the conference was just called Skull and Bones? I mean, really, if you're gonna call it Big Ten and there's 12 teams or whatever, like just call it.
There's
Skull
like 100
Bones.
teams now.
Yeah,
I watched that movie.
Or call one conference Skull, the other Bones.
I watched that movie. I mean, who's got better NIL than those fucking rich guys?
Oh yeah, they got all the
cars
deals.
and women to an island. It's like most dangerous game.
You talking Epstein?
Yeah, I mean not directly. Potentially indirectly. I mean, I assume that's what that movie now in hindsight represents. That special island they went to for the fucking sacrifice. It was really just Epstein Island. They just cut out some of the dots in between.
A little worried about Notre Dame look ahead. Ryan pointing that out as well. But I'm with Colby, like the matchup wise and Louisville, it's going to run out here. Notre Dame is a better team. And you could argue like last game was almost a letdown game by keeping Duke around for that long and needing kind of a miracle cover. I think they cruise here. Give me Notre Dame minus 6.5.
I just Googled to see where Jeffrey Epstein went to college to see if he went to any of the Illuminati colleges. No,
it's number one party school.
No. Look, we've had some scumbags, but it was Vince McMahon. All right, okay. And I don't think he ever went to Epstein Island. He probably went to another island with the opposite effect. But
NYU, the current Institute of Mathematical Sciences. So. We'll have to look deeper into that.
Is he in the noted alumni section?
Maybe at one point.
Have you ever been to the fine establishment known as the Golden Corral?
Yep.
Thank you very much. That's you're welcome. That's an ECU. It's an ECU grad that started the Great Golden Corral.
Do you like eating out of trays? We got a restaurant for you. Eat as much as you want from all the trays you want.
Colby, we need a fact.
Hey, fatty, come here.
We need a college fact calendar, like one of those rip off once a day where we just learn something about a college.
I had a
Golden Corral was created by an ECU graduate. Sick. Now I can't erase that.
Now you understand everything.
And whenever I see Golden Corral, I'm going to see purpling fucking
ECU.
I knew a relative. I still know him. Had worked at Golden Corral, and he said, "I shit you not, that if you came in with a note from your doctor that said your stomach had been stapled, they would give you 35% off." And he said they had a policy. So how many times did it have to happen for them to create the policy?
Do you think they give out?
They're
like
eating through those bands.
They probably give out like a wristband, like so when you come back, they don't have to get the hassle of seeing the paper.
A lot of people don't. They'll look down on a Golden Corral, but look,
good food.
You get shit hammered. You go there, you can taste the whole world.
Well, nowadays you just a couple clicks on your iPhone and you got your medical ID, so they can just scan that puppy right up. They'll see the surgery.
It's medicinal. Coral
got
Cafe or Golden Corral. Kramer, are you on Notre Dame or Louisville?
No, I'm on Louisville.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
You're buying the hype. Cardinals.
Less about buying the hype. Notre Dame on a back-to-back road spot. I mean,
you're a big Papa John guy too.
Well, I stand with Louisville getting rid of that.
You were on that voicemail, weren't you? Or that
there's only one pizza chain out there.
How do you fuck up being a pizza millionaire? How do you fuck that up?
Speaking of the Cardinals, how'd the Cardinals lose to this Giants team? Sorry. Kramer, what's the last game?
I'm gonna think only. I'm not a man of prayer, but I'm gonna pray tonight.
What are you praying
for horrible things to happen to every Philadelphia Eagle.
Oh,
I'm in kamikaze mode. I'm gonna pray for Dak. I'm going to pray for Jalen. I'm going to pray for Sam Howell all together to get hurt. I'm going to pray
I would
for
never wish
Jahan
injury
Dotson,
on any of the Giants.
everyone on the Washington.
Well,
football.
Ryan, you have a lot of best ball shares of Jahan Dotson.
Don't give a shit. Scorched earth.
Giants and Jets haven't ran offensive play with lead this season. That's kind of an interesting trend.
What are you doing over there?
All right, sorry,
You
just
read-
got distracted.
You're not focused on the
Reading
show.
the tabloids.
So
YouTube.com/Sports Gambling Podcast. Tons of great memes coming from Monday Night Football.
oh, Josh has jokes, huh?
Oh no, producer
Hey,
Josh,
go watch. There's this old movie, and there's a character in that movie named Spider. Go take a watch. Fresno State, 5 p.m. on the West Coast, heads to Laramie, Wyoming. Colby will not be there. Wyoming +5.5. Great scene, by the way, when Spider dances. Doesn't have 8 legs. Tease or spoiler alert.
Eight-legged freaks.
Wyoming +5.5 at home here, +190 on the money line. Fresno State -225, 46.5 is the total. They say that the night games get crazy up in Laramie.
Laramie. How do you not take
Tends to be
Wyoming as a home dog at elevation?
Give me the
on a
weather
Saturday
report.
night?
Give me the weather report, because you know there's going to be some fucking wild ass, like maybe some rain, probably
Low
some
of
wind.
34.
Whoa!
Low of 34.
It's October, baby. College football.
Let's go.
But is there wind? Give me the wind report.
Up there is always
Always wind.
Yeah, I mean 10 to 20 miles an hour.
Well,
Chance of rain also.
So you probably don't know this because you're only covering college football, but in the NFL we've studied this, and Sean will tell you that 20 miles an hour, that's going to affect.
Start impacting.
I didn't know
totals.
the NFL played outdoors.
Oh wow!
They sold their soul a long time ago on that, right?
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Eagles.
Who
still
has more dome stadiums, college football or pro football?
college has 2 out of 133.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Only 2?
Yeah.
I'll have to double check that.
But
number.
they save it for all those.
no, it's 3 now because UNLV.
Oh.
They save
yeah.
it for all those neutral site games.
Yeah, I was gonna say I see a lot of college
That
football
Colby
being played
forgets
in
to
domes.
mention that.
Every NFL game's in a dome now. All right. What do you guys got?
What are you talking about?
What do you got to say about that?
I say the Eagles don't play in the dome.
Give it 10 years. They're going to be one of the last ones, I bet. But everyone else, you're going to a game in a dome this weekend. What the fuck are you talking
So
about?
open air.
Yeah, that's a dome, buddy. Yeah.
SoFi Stadium is an open air stadium.
No, that's a terrible fucking stadium. That is the top 10
You can
worst
feel the
stadium.
breeze.
Yeah.
You can feel
They
the breeze.
had the bullshit national championship.
Calmer
there.
than you are, dude. All right. As producer Josh is pointing out, we're giving the Discord
Record number of picks.
Zeke level eating activities will be had. I think we're at 9. The Discord's on Kansas State -11.5, Maryland +20, LSU -7, UCLA -3.5, Cuse +9, UCF +2.5. Oh my god, Georgia, Minnesota, and Fresno. We better fuck them up this week, guys. Last week was really a bummer. I hit that parlay on Friday night. Shout out to BYU, and then everything sucked. And it
Time for
sucked
the
ever
lock,
since.
dog, and tease. Kramer, what do you got?
You want me to go first? Okay.
Sure, or Colby.
Lock. I'm sorry. Could you not hear me? Lock. Ohio State -20. They are going to bend over Maryland and give them Jalen Daniels back pain all the way up their
Wow.
spine with their stiff rods. Lock number 2, Texas A&M +3.
Ooh.
Like that field goal there. Kind of feels like it's going to be a field goal game in the end. And for the money line, I think it might be lit in Louisville, Colby, and you're going to be disappointed. Louisville on the money line.
Say, all right, Louisville money line. What do we got for the tease?
That didn't feel like very energetic of you.
No, I looked at to see the price, and it wasn't. on the sheet.
Josh will find the money line for us. Tease. Oh, let's see. What did I do wrong last week? Everything. All right. So let's get back to the basics. What would Colby do? Well, I'm pretty sure Colby would start by putting UNC down to 3. That feels right. Then we're going to go Michigan -12.5. I really think Colby would whip this around. Jalen Daniels, you're saying he's playing?
I think he's gonna play. He's
Give me
questionable.
Kansas plus 3.5.
Oh wow.
Doing right through 0.
Teasing through 0 like a madman.
Well, you get the same number of key. That's the trick. You also, I know a lot of people don't consider 0 a key number. We do. That's all I got, Sean. You can go if you'd like, or Colby can go.
Yep, I'll take.
And maybe you'll never hear from me again. So it's been real.
I'll take.
That wasn't for you. That was for the audience.
I'll take Missouri plus 7. I'll also take. Oh man, do like Notre Dame.
Really lollygagging right now.
No, I do like.
Oh, you're thinking about.
I'm going Texas minus 6.5 for my dog. Wyoming on the money line for my tease. Give me Notre Dame down to -0.5. Give me UNC -3, and then give me Ohio State -14. Colby, what do you got for the good folks?
We're locking up Notre Dame -6.5.
You agreed with my dog. You nodded when I said my dog. You knew you were going to do that.
The dog is the Wyoming Cowboys.
Sandbagging son of a bitch.
Can I interest you in a Wyoming Missouri parlay?
Look, you guys agreeing with one another.
Huh?
I could be talked into that.
I'm saying, let's go.
Yeah, that seems to work. Why not throw Wazoo in there too?
I like it. I like it because my tease
Put Kentucky in there too.
is Ohio State -14,
Okay.
Michigan -12.5, and Washington State plus 9.5.
Oh, that's I knew I was looking at that one.
Yep, you fucked it all up, buddy.
Fucked it
Bonus
up.
lock is NC State -6. They get it done against the Thundering Herd.
Really?
Wow. Love
Let's
it.
go.
I don't know about that last pick.
Let's add our parlay in there because that's gonna hit.
What are
Which
we
one?
doing?
What are we doing?
I like just keeping it simple.
Missouri
Wyoming,
and Wyoming. Money line plays.
Missouri, Wyoming. That's all we need. Don't need to get crazier than that.
You don't want to throw Oklahoma State in there?
No, I don't because I don't trust that one. I actually think Kansas State's gonna win that game.
Okay.
Hey,
No risk it, no biscuit, they say.
no risk it, no biscuit. Thank you as always for tuning in. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. YouTube.com/sportsgambling podcast. Follow us on X @gambling podcast. Check out the Patreon, weekly Patreon pick'em contest. Congrats to last week's winner. I'm going to pull up his name here real quick.
While you do that, if you're still in the chat, I don't. The earlier comments were only for the posers that just show up in the beginning.
Yes, congrats to Shane who won the DGen University prize pack.
Oh, that's cool.
But he had already purchased the DGen University sweatshirt, so we hooked him up with the gift card.
Sean, this is a little off topic, but you know the Giants are the only team to play 3 primetime games this season. They're 0-3 and they've been outscored 94-15 in those games.
Oh my God!
No, I didn't know that. That's a crazy fact. And then also,
You guys
missed him.
suck at making content.
And
All runs.
And then also shout out to Jeffrey, who was the winner of the Air Jordans. Still working on getting the correct size for him, as it's tough. You know, the truck, only certain sizes fall off the truck. So we'll get you those.
It's like you ever been to the airport where they got the luggage carousel? Imagine that if you couldn't move and the truck only came by once every couple weeks.
sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
This is all Aaron Rodgers' fault.
Kramer. Let it ride.